Well, welcome to this episode of ISV Talks. I'm Carol Livingston of Dynamics Connections and your host of ISV Talks. And on this episode, I'm excited to have John Plow from Red Maple. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Carol. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with the company.
Sure. Yeah, John Plow. I have been with Red Maple for now 2.5 years or so. And
Okay.
I've actually worked with Red Maple for over 15 years in different partnerships when I worked with companies like Cayenne, Ingenico, and Blue Snap. So we had partnerships with Red Maple. I'm excited to say I'm here for the last 2.5 years. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you. Tell us a little bit about Red Maple. How did the company start? Maybe give a company overview.
Yeah, so Red Maple has been doing Microsoft only ERP for 20 plus years. So of course now we're with F&O and BC and we also do CE, et cetera. But all we do is Microsoft. We don't do anything other, no other ERPs, no NetSuites, no Oracles, no nothing. So we are a Microsoft shop and yeah, 20 plus years, lots of different customers, literally from the smaller BC doing maybe, I don't know, 100,000 a month to companies literally doing over 1 billion a year in sales. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, great. I think you're kind of newer to the BC part of the Microsoft space, though, right?
Yeah, we are. We started 3 years ago to really get into BC. I came in 2.5 years ago. F&O continues to there's just a lot of great things going there. But the truth is BC is growing even faster. It just seems like a
Yeah.
lot of merchants are making the move to BC.
Yeah.
So we are yeah, it's been a real good run with BC and we're just excited about where it is and where it's going for sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, tell us, kind of give us the basic description. What is your solutions? What do you have for Dynamics? And what are your unique features?
Yeah, so we have an embedded payment solution for Microsoft BC. And we're a little bit different in that we are not tied in to a processor, to a payment processor, though we have strategic
Okay.
partnerships with other companies. We really aren't tied in, and we've always allowed the merchant or the VAR to say, "I want you to talk to this payment processor." We're not locking anybody
Mm.
in. That way, we give VARs and also merchants choice because a lot of times we'll have a VAR call and say, "Hey, I'm switching from Nav to BC, and they don't have a solution for name the I'll just Elevon or some payment processor. Do you support that?" And we say absolutely. So we can support many, many different processors. So that's one of the main things. And then we
Yeah.
also, and with the multiple processor support, we also can do things like international. So we support Europe, we
Mm.
support Australia, we support Canada. We can take Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, euros, GBP, you name it. We can support
Okay.
international. And we're what I'm
Well, that's
seeing, and
good to
maybe,
know.
yeah, maybe it's just me, but it seems like BC, they're growing and their customers are getting larger and larger, and the requirements are now we're getting customers saying, "Hey, can you support Europe?" And so we're seeing
Yeah.
that part of it as well. Yeah, so that's one of it. And then of course with that we support things like SEPA, FAST, GDPR, all the requirements that you have
Oh,
internationally. So that's all part of it as well. Yeah, and the other things that we have built into our product are things like surcharging. So we have partnered with a company called Interpayments, and to be honest, a large bank asked us to do this, and we're glad we did. But it basically indemnifies the merchant for if
oh,
they're going to do surcharging. Think of like Avalara for taxes.
yeah.
Interpayments is like interpayments for surcharging. So that, and I'm going to make this up. In New Jersey, they can only charge 2% max for surcharging, but in Montana, you can go the full 3% and all those different things. So Interpayments takes care of that for you, and it makes our solution that much more powerful. And we're literally had a big demo today, and that was the big question: is what about
Oh,
something? How do you support it? And so that seems to really help our sales, to be honest, because companies are looking for being indemnified. They don't want to get fined
yeah.
if they charge the wrong amount and those type of things. We support the features that save merchants and merchants money, which help pay VARs and pay us. Is that things like level 2, level 3, and now CEDP with
Oh
Visa.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we support all of that, and the truth is, if they're not doing level 2, level 3 CEDP, you can save up to 1.5% by
Oh,
doing
I
that.
know.
I mean,
Right?
we all know is money in the pocket. Yeah, you're talking, if not thousands of dollars, tens of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars of savings.
Maybe
So
just for those that don't know level 2 or level 3 processing, what do you mean by that?
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it's business to business cards, and basically we're filling out a lot more information, address, all these things that Visa, MasterCard want to know that it's a much more secure transaction. And by doing that, they will lower the interchange on those cards. So they're
Mm-hmm.
saving
Wow,
considerable amount of money by taking, and most
that's a
B2B
good tip.
companies are
So this
business. Yeah,
include more detail on that credit card transaction. You get a lower rate. That's
exactly.
pretty amazing.
Because Visa, MasterCard know it's a very, very secure transaction because you're giving them so much information. They know that, okay,
Mm,
this, we can lower our
that's
rates based on.
authentic.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that I always say that helps pay for BC, that helps pay for integration, that pays for licensing. If you can
Yeah,
come back and say, hey, we're working with, name the product, we're working with Fortis, and Fortis came back and said, hey, we're going to save you $1,100 a month on what you're currently paying. It's like, okay, that adds up real quick. And that really does
yeah.
help the sale where you don't really have to sell that much when they know that the savings right there. So, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, instant ROI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We do, Carol, things like, of course, tokenization of credit cards. So it's actually the credit card number is never stored in the
Oh,
Microsoft D365. So we do the tokenization with the processor, of course, and that gives you a tokenized reference number for future transactions. It helps with all the PCI DSS compliance, PCI 4.0, all of that. So we never see the credit card. I mean, they're not going to, we never storing any credit card information. It just makes it much, much more
yeah.
secure. Yeah. So that is another thing we do a lot is tokenization, and it does depend on the processor. So some processors,
Oh,
and with that, you can talk about fraud as well. So some processors will have a fraud solution built in, and will, like for CyberSource, they have a fraud solution that we're integrated with.
oh,
So that also comes with it as well. So
okay.
we just continue to try to enhance the product, make it that much better. And when we really do
Great.
thrive on when someone says, "Hey, do you support this?" And if, once we start hearing that once or twice, that this is
Yeah.
becomes something within our company. Like, hey, this
Yeah.
is something we really have to get our arms around. The other thing that we've done, and we really cut our teeth in F&O because this is a big deal, but now it's in BC, is that we do things like automatically authorize orders when they're shipped. So it really does
Okay.
help for things like long back orders when that happens. So you actually bill
Mm-hmm.
when the order is actually shipped. Partial shipments. So if you're only shipping half that day, we'll hit the first half, but we'll wait until the second half goes, and then we'll hit that as well. We also allow businesses to authorize for overages. That's great for shipping charges not known at the time of order. So we
Mm-hmm.
will allow that to happen, and other charges that you want to throw on there as well. So there's some things that we built into the product that I think it just makes it much, much better for some B2B customers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about in-person transactions? Do you have
Yeah.
that as well?
Yeah, we do. We actually do have in-person transactions, so in-store payments. It's more of a non-traditional POS, is what I'm going to say. So it's not a full-blown retail POS that you'd see at Best Buy
Right.
or something, but it
Yeah.
does tie into sales orders and sales invoices. So you have a payment terminal at the stand, and they tap, dip, or swipe, and they take the payment, and it automatically goes into BC. A lot of people don't want the full blown POS for that. It's like, man,
Yeah.
they're charging me $1,000 a month just to have the full blown POS. And this is just a
Mm-hmm.
very simple way to integrate in store payments into BC. Yeah.
Nice. That's a
So
great
definitely,
option.
yeah, and that seems to work. We do have business to business and business to consumer customers. We have a customer portal that allows for like click to pay, send out a link, so you're never taking a phone call and go, oh, give me your phone number. You literally say, hey, what's your email? Here's a click. They enter
Yeah.
their email address, and
Oh,
you're
nice.
they never see it. Yeah, so you can send those out very easily. You can send them to If you're at a trade show and you want to use that, you can do
Yeah.
that as well without having a payment terminal. And yeah, so some of
Oh,
that.
good idea. Yeah. So
Yeah,
they're taking an order at a trade show booth and they're like, well, just send me a link and I'll pay with my credit card and they can go off, do that, come back
yeah, yeah.
and finish the transaction. That's really smart. I never thought of that.
Yeah. So yeah, with Click to Pay, it's essentially a secure payment link that's attached to an invoice. So the system generates a unique payment link in Dynamics 365. The link sent to the customer via email. They can make the payment there. The customer clicks the link and they can make it complete the payment right away. So it's very
Okay.
simple. You're not getting
Yeah.
cards out in the clear, all of that as well. With that, we have a customer payment portal that is a full-blown solution that allows the customer to view all their invoices. They can store payment methods. They can manage cards and bank accounts if they want to do ACH as well.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I didn't mention earlier. We support ACH as well. So
Oh,
not just
okay.
credit
Good
cards.
to
And
know.
we are, yeah, so definitely ACH and credit cards. And if you're in Europe, SEPA, etc. Yeah, so it supports the customer portal. It's called Clever Division. So if you're on our website, and we'll talk a little bit about that, you look for Clever Division, it'll say customer portal, but that's our full-blown solution that a lot of customers are using. I would say 8 out of 10 customers that go with us are using our customer portal. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah,
That many, huh?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we other solutions, and we'll keep talking about BC, but we do things. We do BC, we do FNO, which is now FNSCM. We do
Great.
CE. Anything Microsoft, we usually have something that we can offer in the payments realm for sure.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, so you already talked about what products you're compatible with. So, is there any industries that you find that you tend to work with or specialize in?
Yeah, so really the ones that we hit the most, we do retail, but it's mostly manufacturing distribution. So mostly
Oh,
B2B, though we do B2C. We also do field service companies that want to
okay.
take payments in the field. So that's something that we're seeing more of. E-commerce fulfillment, we have a lot of merchants or businesses that are in that world
Yeah.
as well. So that's kind of our bread and butter with BC is that some of the new things that are coming out that are pretty exciting is, I don't know if you've heard, but Apple's called Tap to Pay on iPhone. And it's
Oh,
basically now my iPhone here, I can actually make a payment if I'm in a booth or something, or if I'm a field service person, you have an Apple phone, they can actually just use their phone to accept the payment. So you think of them not having to take a
wow.
mobile Ingenico payment terminal with them everywhere they go. We're working with a very, very large customer right
Hmm.
now that was going to be buying hundreds, if not thousands, of payment terminals. And they're like, okay, with this Apple Tap to Pay, it's worth for us to have each person. If we got one register, we got this many people out in the field, let's get them an iPhone and they can take payment. We don't
Yeah,
have to manage 400 Ingenico or PAX or name the payment terminal. We can now just use iPhones to
great.
make payments.
Those
So
are pretty clunky. Like when you get it on airlines, I'll be really happy about that
yeah, that will be
because
nice. I do
they
use
always have
Apple.
the big terminal thing and then to take a
Exactly.
credit card. So
Yeah. I honestly, I think you're going to start seeing that because it's
yeah,
just it makes so much sense to
it
do
makes
that. So
sense. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it
that's one
does.
of the things that's we're coming down the pike that we're working on with specific processor. Also real-time payments or is coming down RTP. That's something that we're looking at. And
Oh,
then the things that we have seen that just continued to challenges that we see are companies really, I mentioned, they really do want more choices. We see people leaving nav, like I said, they'll leave nav and they'll be with a certain processor and they're going, oh, we're going to BC, we want to use the same processor. And they're
yeah,
finding out, oh no, you can't. And the only solution out there is you have to go to a different processor. So that is
right.
something that we're seeing quite a bit of, is that customers really
Mm.
want that flexibility. They
Yeah.
also want ACH if they're taking credit cards, and you ask them, yeah, we're doing ACH, but we're doing it through our bank. And like, okay, well, we can channel that all through BC and very simply. And now you have
Oh,
one report, it's so much easier to reconcile. So we're starting to see quite a
yeah.
bit of that. A lot of customers already do that, but you are
Yeah.
seeing people, and I continue to hear that. No, 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 we're good. We have a solution with our bank. Like, okay, well, that's fine, but you might want to integrate that
Uh,
and make life a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit
not
easier.
integrated. It's the bank. Then go over here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the integration is them doing the double entry. Other things you're looking to introduce?
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, what operational challenges are you able to solve and help customers with?
yeah. I mean, just things as simple as combining credit cards and ACH. A lot of them are just wanting credit cards, and then you mention surcharging, and they're like, "Yeah, I would love to do that. You can do that." And so that is becoming a norm in the business to business world. So we can offer that and also indemnify them. So we're starting to see that pop up quite a bit. We see a
Nice.
lot of customers that are using credit cards as well in BC, or they're moving to BC, and you ask them, we talk about ACH, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we do a half of our business is ACH, and we do it through our bank." And we're like, "Okay, well, you could solidify that all within BC, and now you have one report, and you got credit
Great.
cards and ACH together." So we're seeing
Yeah,
that
that's
quite
great.
a bit. Yeah, and probably to end, I am seeing on a great note is that we're starting to see companies leaving. Yeah, of course, you always have the QuickBooks people coming to BC, but now we're starting to see Acumenica people. We're starting to see NetSuite companies that are running on NetSuite ERP, and
Great.
it's awesome to say, "Hey, we got you completely covered," they'll bring up all these different scenarios
Yeah,
that we usually can match,
really.
or
Check.
even be a
Check.
little bit better. Yeah. And one of the things I'll end with this, that if we work with a VAR, we always, of course, work closely with the VAR. We talk to them way beforehand. We have a questionnaire that we send out to them for them to fill out, or the merchant, or both. And then we know exactly what to talk about, because our goal is to get in
Oh,
front of the customer with the VAR. Because once that happens, we never do a PowerPoint. We always are live. So we do live BC demos. When they say, "Hey, show us ACH, show us how do you handle long shipping times and all these things," we can literally go in and show them that. So
okay.
when we do demos, it's not a hard sell. It's usually by the time you're done, they're like, "Okay, this looks what we're looking for. What's it going to take to get pricing? Let us
Yeah.
know." So it very
Okay.
seldom does someone say, "Oh, that's not really what we're looking for." I think they'll be very happy with what they hear. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
So, John, just kind of in conclusion, is there one trend that you're seeing that's driving customers and partners to come talk to you?
Yeah, I think it comes down, a lot of it really does come down to the fact that we do not dictate where you have to do your processing. We have merchants coming to us saying, "I'm looking at this payment solution, but it only goes to the processor that owns that payment solution." We
Right.
have strategic partnerships. I'm not saying we don't, but we truly do not dictate to the merchant where they're going to go for payments. So if they go, we say, "Hey, here's three different payment solutions that we offer." And they go to those three processors and go, "Okay, here," they'll ask for their last 3 months statements. They'll get them. They'll come back and they'll say, "Hey, with this other processor, I'm going to save $600 a month just off the top." So we see that quite a bit. And
Mm-hmm.
that seems to really help the merchant and hopefully the bar as well, because now you're not losing because you are stuck with one certain solution. So
Right.
yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that seems to be kind of a theme that we're always addressing. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, John, for joining us on ISV Talks today. It was really a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, this was fun. I've enjoyed it, and it's good to know that I'm talking to a Pacific Northwesterner together. This is good.
Right? We both have the web feet and live in the green Northwest, right?
Yes, yes, we do.
So, well, thank you, John. And this is John's contact information. John, do you want to review your
Yeah,
contact info?
absolutely. Yeah, so please reach out to me if you have any questions. Would love to chat. My email is jplo@redmaple.com. So it's spelled JP as in Paul, Leau at redmaple, just as it sounds.com. And then the website is very simple, www.redmaple.com. We have a lot of Canadian companies that really want that domain, and we are not giving it up. So yeah, that's a simple one.
Don't give it up. Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you, our audience, on the next ISV Talks video. So we'll see you again soon, friends. Bye bye.
Thanks, Carol. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.